What's going on, guys? Me, David, here, back for another shave. And oh man, do I have a tragic tale. Something that I don't really like giving bad news on these videos. Not that I try to stay positive about all uh, products, but I usually don't like to bash anybody. And I'm not really gonna bash somebody, but I'm gonna give you guys a warning, a buyer beware. Um, because you just can't do business like this. If you guys haven't already told by the title of the video, um, it's going to be a tragic tale of Osiris Blades. You guys have seen Osiris Blades on this channel quite a few times before. Uh, I knew the dude back when he just started getting going and really wanted to support his business. But since things have kind of fallen apart, and we'll get into that right now. We'll go ahead and get into that. But just so you guys know, if I was going to tell a tragic tale, I at least had to use something that was going to get me in a good mood. So today I'm going to be using Cherry Pie, Ariana Evans, Kaizen 2E. This has the emu oil. I don't know if that fucking really makes a difference or not, but there's emu oil in there. So whatever. But I have used the base before. It is fantastic. I love the base. It just kind of is what it is. And oh, this scent. When we get into the scent, that, you guys will at least get some good news in this. And of course, I'm going to go and check this out using Chisel and Hound. Little bad boy right here. We're going to go and load this up. So, this is a tragic tale. My boy Nate Dogg. You guys know Nate from BBS Live. Also, if you're part of the Lather and Blade Facebook group, he usually does a live once a week on the Friday live train. For those of you guys don't know what the Friday live train is, pretty much on Fridays in Lather and Blade. It was more popping when people were at home due to the pandemic, but we still get a good handful of people. Magic Mike, Sweet Baby Ray, Nate, and other people kind of mix in there. Well, me and Nate, we were buddies, so we talk all the time, and he was wanting a nice, beefy, custom razor. The juices kind of got going once I got those Martinez razors. And he asked me about Osiris. I'm like, I've had one of his razors. I like him. I like his work. I like his style. When you see an Osiris blade, you kind of know it's from him. And for me, that's a good thing. I love when razor makers have their signature style. I like to be able to look at a blade and I like to be able to know, oh yeah, that's Edson, that's Martinez, that's Osiris. I like to know. Max Sprecher. It makes it unmistakable. And that could be just something unique to me. Some people may feel the same way. If you don't, no big deal. If you do, then you understand. So he asked me about him. I like his stuff. I say you should do it. Why not? If you got the funds, go for it. So, Nate decided to go ahead and move along with that. So he got in contact with the owner of Osiris Blades and put in the order. They discussed doing a pattern steel razor. It was going to be the Hamon. Within a month, well, first initially Nate put down the down payment. Within a month, he had paid off the balance of the razor, with the understanding that he's going to have to wait some time. Well, that's where things get a little ugly. So, Nate requested a Hamon razor with, I believe, translucent scales and like that rainbow titanium type of wedge. Really, really good looking. Now, the material, I could be mistaken, but I know it was like a very rainbow colored, very standout wedge. This comes into play a little later on. So, and Nate was like, hey, I'm not tripping. I'm not in a rush. Well, he ended up regretting those words, because now we fast forward to a year and maybe a couple months. it's been a while. Through this time, most times when Nate was trying to get a hold of the razor maker, he would go missing for, I think, even up to a couple months at a time. Of course, Nate wasn't bugging initially, gave him a few months, unheard of. You know, he didn't say nothing. What a great. Oh, and this growth was from my last shave video, so I don't know, maybe 10 days. So pretty robust growth here. Looking like a mountain man. And so so Nate would message him saying, hey, what's the status if I could just get some updates? Wouldn't hear from him for weeks. I think one time he actually messaged him a couple times, didn't hear from him in over a month. Even I messaged the artisan because I used to talk to him quite a bit. Again, I would recommend people to his business. And so I even reached out to him like, hey bro, what's up? Nate's telling me that he hasn't been able to get a hold of you. What's up with his razor? I thought he would hit me up. To this day, I never got a reply back from that message. He just completely ignored it. We are friends on Facebook. I have messaged him on Instagram. I got nothing. And, you know, because Nate's my boy, that's why I just thought, like, let's see what's up. Maybe he'll answer me because we were cool. Well, we don't have nothing. It's not like we're not cool now. I don't have nothing against him. Just, again, the way he does business, he can't do it. So a lot of runaround. Oh, it should be done in a couple weeks. A couple weeks come, you don't hear nothing from him. And oh, this razor, honed by me. Nate had him send it directly to me for honing. So we're going to test that out today. Oh, I think it's a winner. Yeah, I think this feels pretty damn good. Okay. So Nate fully paid for the razor. Bam, damn near upfront. Again, within a month, paying it all off. That's damn near upfront, especially when the razor ended up taking a year and some months. So he kept telling, oh, this happened. There's always some kind of sob story. And hey, people do go through challenges in life. That's not a problem. But it's important that you should be reaching out to your customer and letting them know, hey, XYZ happened. There's going to be a little delay. Didn't do none of that. Waited for Nate to message him a few times and got nothing. And then finally, again, here comes the sob story. And then here we go. More waiting. Weeks, a month go by, still no updates. Nate was in contact with somebody else that was waiting for a razor from Osiris as well. That customer got tired of waiting. So he ended up canceling his order. The razor was done, but that customer was just done with the wait. It had been over a year already, and he just didn't want to fuck with him no more because of the lack of communication. Which that razor was this one right here. Not a pattern steel, regular steel color. I don't know what steel he uses, possibly O2, who knows. This whole setup right here. The guy even got pictures of the finished razor, and he's like, I'm just not interested anymore, man. It's been too long. Can I get my money back? I guess he refunded him. Now, on tonight's razor again. More waiting. Finally, the razor maker gets in contact with him and sends him the picture of a blade and say, bam, this is it, here it goes, wowzers. Well, the guy said, I just need to put scales on it. There goes some more wait time. The guy finally put scales on it. He decides, or who knows what he's thinking, he put scales on it that, and I will never talk bad about his work because I really am a fan of the work that he does. But he decides to just go rogue. He decides to put on some kind of like spalted maple burl that I think was dyed which if you remember correctly, he wanted initially translucent scales with that colorful wedge. So he went away from what Nate had ordered and paid for, because I do believe that wedge is also an expensive material. So Nate paid a premium for that and paid a premium for that jamon blank. And Nate was just like, well, I was going to tell him something about the scales, but I'm tired of waiting. If I tell him something, who knows when I'll ever get this damn razor. So Nate was prepared to take that razor, even though it wasn't as requested. Nate was sitting back, and this is how disappointing those scales are. Again, I like them, but that's my style. It's not what Nate was looking for. Nate was sitting back, and he's like, you know what? I actually like the look of that razor that was canceled by somebody, the guy that was ahead of him. I think I'm going to message him and take that one instead. So he did. Thinking, hey, the razor's done. He should be able to send it to me already. So they paid for the more expensive blade, more expensive metal, paid for the more expensive wedge, decided to go with a cheaper option, even though he already paid for it, just so he could hurry up and get the goddamn thing. And that he preferred over what was made for him, because it wasn't what he asked for. He told him to send it directly to me. He said, cool. I should have the razor out this week. Not a problem. I'll have it out this week. Well, 2 weeks passed. No razor ever got shipped. And they had to message him again. You know, still no quick reply. I think another week had passed, and finally he said, oh, now I'm able to send it. I was waiting. No, wait a minute. No. When they agreed upon it, another month passed. Forgive me, because this was a long process. So trying to remember the whole story. Me and Nate talk regularly, so I was getting filled in as this was going on. So he agreed to get this. Another month passed. He's like, okay, I'll let you know when it's ready. Nate was kind of like, well, I seen the pictures of it. It's ready already. But Nate just said, okay, again, give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Again, meanwhile, during the time that Nate's waiting for this razor over this year plus, the guy's posting on social media, going skydiving, doing all this other shit. Now, obviously, having your own business doesn't mean that your life should stop. But also, having customers wait over a year for some shit that, again, you're not hand forging and this stuff. You're getting blanks and you're cutting them out. Not to discredit the skill, because I think they're very well done. But, you know, if anybody has seen like that video from Charlie Lewis, he made a full-on custom where he forged the blade shape out and everything, I think within a couple days, that he did in one YouTube video. So for a year, when you don't have that long of a wait list, it's kind of weird. And again, he's living it up, partying, going out with the girlfriend, doing all that stuff, which again, normally is fine. But if you're accepting money for a product, you should be putting the work in on the product, you know, and not fucking disappearing while you have somebody's money in hand. Can't do that shit. So then after about that month, then he said that he will ship it out. He was like, okay, now it's ready. Nate was confused because, again, he's seen the razor. He's like, well, that should be done already. What's the deal? Well, whatever. And again, Nate was just done. He was already at this point now, because he was waiting already upon agreed upon done blade. He was considering asking for his money back. But he's like, I don't even believe I'll get my money back from this dude. So he just waited, was concerned, was nervous about it. Nobody wants to lose any type of money, whether it be $20, whether it be $1,000. Now, I don't know what the exact price of this is, but nonetheless, he paid in full for it. He should be expecting his product as he wanted. So then he said he'd ship it. 2 weeks passed, still never shipped it. Then he fucking finally shipped it, and now it came to me. And to me, this is still not even a finished blade. I'm very familiar with Osiris Blades, their work. No maker's mark on it. It is an unbranded blade. He didn't put his maker's mark on either of them. There's usually two different marks that he puts on his razors, and he did nothing. So he took another month and a half after it was allegedly pretty much done, and still didn't really finish the razor. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. When you're paying this money, there's certain expectations. One of which is probably the branding. You usually don't buy some Nike shoes if they don't have that signature swoosh. Why? Because there's some gravitas, I guess you could say, with branding. Branding makes you feel good. You want to look good to other folks. Whatever. Either way, if you buy an iPhone, you expect that Apple logo on it. Same thing, I would imagine, with an expensive razor. And it just didn't happen. So I say all this just to kind of give everybody a warning. I can't recommend this vendor anymore. I have recommended them in the past, and that is done. I can't support a company that is going to disappear, take their sweet ass time, and then not deliver a product that's promised. Nate paid for all those extras. He paid for the different metal. He paid for different scales. He got absolute nothing that he actually initially wanted, and settled for this razor. And it's a good looking razor. The scale work that Osiris does is phenomenal. I've always liked it. The work on the razor is not really nice, but he got nothing that he asked for. A hassle, a year, something to wait to get nothing that what you expected. So yeah, I felt the need to have to come on here because I have recommended them in the past. I have recommended them on videos, and I just can't fuck with them no more. I can't do it. It's not the way you should be doing business, man. That's a stressful situation for the customer. And again, live your life. You have to live your life. You'll be miserable if you don't. But respect the people enough to get the fucking work done. And this guy just didn't care. Just didn't care. Or maybe his life is just so fucking chaotic that he shouldn't have a business. A side business. And that's fine. If you got stuff going on in your personal life, step away from it. Don't accept people's money if you're not going to deliver. And he didn't. He fucked this one up completely. So much so that Nate's even like, dude, I have so much such a bad experience from this. I don't even know how I'm going to feel once I get this razor in hand. I might just sell this shit once I get it. Because, you got that little bit of PTSD from it. And that's a dramatic way to put it, but just kind of getting the point across, man. So I wouldn't recommend doing any business with Osiris Blades. If you have all that money, you just don't give a shit, I guess, go ahead. There are some people that ain't worried about no money. So they'll wait whatever the fuck, don't worry about it. But it's one of those situations that, honestly, if you're not on this guy, he probably won't ever get the job done. So and I felt bad through all this because I told him, yeah, that dude, he's fucking solid. Get the razor. It'll be fine. And he just handled the whole situation as unprofessional as possible. This guy has pretty much disappeared off of Instagram and just ignores when you message him on Facebook. So you just can't be trusted, man. You just don't know what you're going to get when you're dealing with them, man. So that's just my opinion. Of course, everybody's going to do what they want with their money. I had to make sure that my name and my recommendation were no longer attached to this, man, because I've had a lot of people ask me over these years since he's been around, and I've always vouched for that dude, and I'm not gonna ruin my reputation for nobody. And the way this guy's doing shit, fuck all that. It's bullshit. And I've never been one to come on here and try to take money out of people's pockets, ruin no business. But it's just, there's certain things that are unacceptable, man. I understand a wait list, but he wasn't pumping out shit, and even the stuff he's pumping out is not what the customer ordered. Can't do it. Can't do it. Again, I'll say I like the finished product or the partly finished product. Again, with no maker's mark, no branding that it's an Osiris. For me, it's still an unfinished piece of work. But what's here is really nice. Again, I love the scales. I always love his scale shape. I always love the thickness and the durability, or at least the feeling of his scales. They're always just nice and substantial. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but not hearing back from the person doing me a service, not hearing back for months at a time, no, fuck all that. Yeah, dude, because this is not something anybody should be stressing over. And you know, luckily Nate did have some distractions. Had the new baby come along, and you know, Benjamin's here, so he had other more pressing things to deal with, and he shouldn't have to be chasing down this motherfucker that had his money. So I do like the edge on this razor. Yeah, I think it's safe to go. It's getting through all my hair very easily. The bevel is pretty even. I honed it with no tape. With the newer razors like this, you really don't have to put too much pressure on this, so I wasn't gonna chew up the fucking spine much. You can barely even tell that I put a dent in that damn spine. It is a beefy razor. It's big, so at least that's cool. So, of course, I will have some pictures. But either way, let me go ahead, rinse off, and we'll get into the final thoughts. All right, and we are back. Soap that we use today, A&E Cherry Pie. It is a fantastic scent. Fantastic. I fucking love it. Oh, I didn't take off the damn thing yet. I got a sample of this. Not a sample. He actually sent me like a non-retail version. Puck. It was in a thing, in an actual tub, because I don't use little jar samples like that because I don't want to scoop them out. But he did send me a sample of this in a full tub. Well, it wasn't a full tub. It was like 2 ounces, I think it was. So, but I loved it. I had to make sure to get the aftershave and get an actual retail version of it because I just really, really enjoyed it. Go ahead. Use a healthy amount. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of his lack of alcohol and the splashes. That has some, but it's just not the burn I desire. Strong scents. Good conditioning, but for me, I'm not so worried about all of the conditioning stuff. Maybe when I'm 50 and I'm trying to extend my sexiness a little bit and I need that super skin foodie stuff, then maybe I'll be more concerned about it. Me, my shaving, it's all for the experience. I like a certain experience. I expect products to deliver a certain experience. That aftershave doesn't really quite do it for me, but his scents are so great that I go ahead and go with it. And then, you know, the main subject of the show today. Again, nice razor. I didn't clean it up. You're gonna get some, you know, nice polish to it. See that bevel? Nice, even, shiny. That's more my doing, but whatever. It is a nice piece of work that is not finished and not what was requested. It took a nice edge. I like the shave that I just got out of it. I think Nate will enjoy it, but definitely left a bad taste in his mouth, a bad customer experience, and I'm with him on it. You can't do that to customers. You know, I came on here and said that about Carve. That some people were waiting 3, 4, 5 months for the razors to get delivered. And I said, you can't take people's money if you're not gonna fucking deliver product in a timely manner. This is 5, 6, maybe even 7 times the amount of money. He did not deliver a product as promised. And not only that, but pretty much fucking ignored him half the time. Fuck all that. I wouldn't recommend doing business with them, but of course you're gonna do what you wish. This was a long one. I know. When I have a long story and a lot of shit to say, this one kind of dragged on. My apologies. But if you made it to this point of the video, you know how much I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for sticking with me, watching all of it. Actually, most of you guys ain't even watching the video to this point. I think the average watch time of my videos is like 8.5 minutes. So a lot of you motherfuckers checked out already. But for those of you guys that did stick around, thank you. I fucking love you. So that being said, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you on the next shave.